Republican Congressman from Texas, Kevin Brady, he wants legislation, and he's pushing it, that would permanently repeal the federal estate tax, sometimes called the death tax. And Congressman Brady joins us now from Houston. Congressman, am I right in saying that you will have this bill and it would completely eliminate the death tax? It wouldn't scale it back. No, it would kill it, stone dead, correct?
Yes, it would, and it now has nearly 218 sponsors, a majority of the House members.
Well, it'll get through the House, but I put it to you, it will not even be taken up by the Senate, correct?
You know, this Senate isn't taking anything up, especially if it helps the economy. But I think it's important. It's been 9 years since we've had a vote to repeal the death tax in the House. I think it's time for that. Secondly, I think there are a lot of senators facing re-election in states where people just don't believe you work your whole life and Uncle Sam swoops in and takes a third to a half of everything you've owned. It's a pretty powerful issue.
But you know, your opponents will say, if you repeal this tax, you're just giving money to the rich. And there's a very strong sentiment in America today that we want to tax them more, not give them more money.
Yeah, and they're so dead wrong. These are family-owned farms and ranches. These are family-owned businesses, and many of them are building wealth for the first time. Women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, who now are finding they're supposedly wealthy, but in fact what they have are businesses with large land, large equipment, things that trigger the estate tax. And the truth of the matter is it raises very little money for the government. It really is a drag on the economy. Many believe we would generate more tax revenue by repealing it than keeping it on the books.
Okay, I got one for you, Congressman. I want your take on news developments of the day. I want your take on President Obama's decision to turn over 5 high-level Gitmo detainees in exchange for POW U.S. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. Congressman, I should tell you that our viewers are right now seeing some videos, some still shots of the handover of Sergeant Bergdahl from the Taliban to U.S. Special Forces who picked him up inside Afghanistan. He looks well, and he's walking to the helicopter. What's your comment on President Obama's release of the 5 Taliban?
In the long run, this is a bad trade for America. I think we'll discover that Sergeant Bergdahl deserted, then later discovered that the Taliban were not the guys in the white hats he thought they were and wanted to come back. His actions have cost us up to 6 American lives. I think President Obama's actions in returning him may put more soldiers at a risk, because now our enemies know the formula. Capture an American soldier, get back a boatload of critical military leaders for their side. In the long run, this is not good.
Do you think, I mean, shouldn't the President have told you? Isn't there a law that says you've got to be given an advance warning when you move any Gitmo guy?
Yes, this is a very mature issue. It's not as if the President doesn't know. Congress has much different feelings than he does on Guantanamo Bay. I think he ignored that law and the reporting and the consultation requirements so that he could do this deal in the dark of night and apologize afterwards. It's exactly the wrong thing to do. And I think over time, national security suffers as a result.
Yes, sir. Now, our viewers are now watching the video of the handover of Sergeant Bergdahl. You can see that the Taliban are around him. You can see that they have a white flag, and then they hustle him away. The Americans take him away to a helicopter that's waiting there to take him away. He's walking on his own 2 feet right there. He's patted down twice, and then they take him into the helicopter, and shortly it will be taking off, and he's away. That's what our viewers have just seen. All right, Congressman, I'm afraid we're flat out of time, but we appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you, sir.